Good evening. Thanks to all of you for being here this evening. And I want to thank everyone who's joined us from our remote viewing location at the Rhododendron Room upstairs here in the Mountain Lair. It's a packed house in this room and upstairs, and I think that really shows the commitment that this campus community has to doing the right thing, as T.J. Birch said. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. My name's April Call. I'm the Director of News here at West Virginia University. And while we get our stage set up for our conversation, I want to go through a little bit of what's going to happen next. We just finished watching a very powerful documentary film. And I want to share some important information with all of you. First and foremost, we have representatives from our Caruth Center for Counseling here this evening. Many of them are standing along the side. They are wearing lanyards so you can easily see who they are. If you would, just raise your hand so everyone can see who you are. They're right there in the back. Anyone who feels like they may want or need to talk with someone, please seek them out. We also have some private areas where you can go and talk if you need to. In addition to that, you may have received information about our crisis text line on these little white red cards. It's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. All you have to do is text WVU to 741741. Again, that's text WVU to 741741, and you'll be connected to a crisis counselor. It's anonymous. So if you feel more comfortable communicating with someone that way, we encourage you to do so. There's also information available tonight about our safety and wellness website here at West Virginia University. It's safety.wvu.edu. At that website this evening and starting tomorrow, you'll find information about a new campaign starting here at the university. It's called Would You? And we're going to be asking, would you help someone who was in trouble? Would you step up and do the right thing? Would you reach out? There'll be a lot of information coming about that in the days, weeks, and months ahead, so we encourage you to look for that. And to visit our safety.wvu.edu website for all kinds of information about safety and wellness resources here at the university. We'll also have a special page with the documentary you just saw linked, as well as the panel discussion that we're going to have tonight, which will share a lot of additional information. You'll find resources for bystander training, for medical amnesty, so I really do encourage you to check that out. At this time, I'd like to invite our guests up to the stage. I'm going to join them. A couple of notes for you all in the audience. We're going to have people with microphones stationed throughout the room. We want this to be a candid, heartfelt conversation tonight. So if you have questions, concerns, comments, we want to hear from you. Just raise your hand, we'll get a microphone to you. All I ask is that you let us know who you are and who you're addressing your question to, so we can find the best person up on our panel or in our audience to help answer that question. I'll also be monitoring my cell phone this evening for questions coming from the overflow, the Rhododendron Room upstairs, because we want to make sure that everyone has the opportunity who wants to participate tonight to participate. So I'm going to make my way up here to the stage. And I want to introduce you to the people who are joining us here tonight, some very special folks. First, let me start to my right. Nolan's mother, Kim Birch. Please welcome her. Nolan's father, T.J. Birch. And to my left, WVU's Dean of Students, Corey Ferris. Dr. Joshua Dower, who was part of the team that cared for Nolan. And Dan Catullo, the documentary filmmaker who brought us Breathe, Nolan, Breathe. He's also a WVU alum. So let's get our conversation started. And I didn't get an opportunity to tell Dr. Dower this, but I've decided I'm going to call you Dr. Josh tonight. Is that okay? Yes. Okay, that's great. And as we get our conversation started, I want to make sure that we recognize some special people who are in our audience who are going to be able to participate in the conversation as well. And TJ, I know you wanted to introduce some friends and special guests that you and Kim have with you tonight.
If I could, please, yes. First of all, thank you, everyone, for allowing us to share Nolan's story and to be here tonight. I especially want to thank some folks who came in from Buffalo, New York, some very special friends and family and board members. My daughter, in particular, who went through all of this with us. You saw a lot of her pictures in the documentary. She is the reason that we live right now, and she's amazing. Her boyfriend's here as well, so. Second, we have another special guest that's with us this evening. We actually got to meet him on Friday night. His name is Harrison Klein. He's a fellow WVU student, and he's also Nolan's kidney recipient. So, his family is here as well. And then two very, very special people to us who unfortunately have gone through the exact same thing that we have. We have Debbie Smith, mother of Matthew, who passed away in 2005 at Chico State. And then we have Cindy Hips, mother of Tucker, who passed away at Clemson in 2014, both from hazing. So thank you, April. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Thank you all again.
And thank you so much for being a part of our conversation and our evening here tonight. I also want to let you all know that our former University Police Chief, Bob Roberts, is in the audience. You saw him in the film. Bob, raise your hand. He's way back there in the back. And again, I just want to reiterate, this is an open conversation tonight. I don't want it to just be all of us here on the stage talking among ourselves. I really want our whole campus community to engage with one another tonight. This is a chance to really start something important and that can be a ripple that extends across the country. Because as we know, this is not just a West Virginia University issue. This is an issue, as you well know, that reaches across campuses all across the United States. So with that, I want to start by talking a little bit about college campuses. And Kim, I wanted to talk with you. How was it to come back to West Virginia University and to be back on this campus in Morgantown? That had to have been hard.
Nolan loved it here, though. So to look out and we walked around the other night, and it was such a beautiful night, and I got it. I understood why he loved it here. And the last time I saw Nolan, we were zip lining, and I was so scared to go down, you know, and his father and his sister were down at the bottom, and I said, "Oh, Nolan, I don't want to go." And he said, "Mom, go, you got this, you got this." And I don't know why, but I turned around, I looked at him, and I said, "You're never coming home, are you?" And he opened up his arms, and he goes, "Mom, look at this place. I am home." So to know that Nolan felt that comfortable here, how could we not come back? And everybody's been so welcoming, and we just want everybody to do the right thing. Just do the right thing. That's all. No lecturing. No, you got to do this. You got to do that. Just be a human being and do the right thing.
TJ, we've talked off and on over the last couple of days, and I asked you if people watching and listening tonight came away with one thing emblazoned in their brain. As Nolan's father, what would you want that one thing to be?
Watch out for each other. It's basically just like Kim just said. I mean, just do the right thing. It's human nature. I know it's hard when you're in a group sometimes, and it's folks your own age. But somebody pull the trigger, man. You just have to do it. If you see somebody in trouble, like Dr. Dower said, if they're unresponsive for any reason, regardless of what it is, you guys aren't going to be able to diagnose that. Maybe some of you are if you're EMS, but they need a physician. They need somebody who's a professional. Just don't wait. I've said this a few times this week. If something doesn't feel right, it's not right. So go ahead and make that call. Worry about it later. There's actually nothing to worry about. If anything, you're going to save a life, and that's a pretty good thing. So,
Dan, I wanted to shift to you for just a minute. You're an alum of the institution here. You were a member of the Greek community here on campus. What was the process like for you in making this film? I know it's not the typical kind of project that you've undertaken. So talk a little bit about what it was like.
Well, first of all, the out of sync issue wasn't a style. We had issues with the translation. So if you watch it tonight if you watch it online, it'll be in sync. I promise. We just so you guys know how much went into this. We were making changes on the film up until last night. So that film came in hot and heavy today from California, and so. You know, this was deeply personal. I mean, I'm most known for my music work. I mean, especially around here, I'm the guy that brought Brad Paisley here in 2016. I shot Brad Paisley for my TV series, so I'm used to doing, you know, multi-camera music specials and DVDs and music videos. I have been involved as an executive producer in a couple big documentaries, but this was a really emotional experience for me because obviously I'm very attached to university. This is kind of my second home. And then over the course of the past 2 years, I became like a family member to the Birches. In my New York office, we have like a room with all of Nolan's belongings, and we have, oh God, probably 500 photos that they sent us. We have a lot of things. So he was always there to inspire us to this. You know, it's just, this should not have happened. I mean, this was a very easy fix. Just call 911 and we wouldn't be here tonight. So now our goal is to try to use this story to make sure this never happens again. So, you know, putting this together, you know, this was hard to keep it short and concise, tell his story, honor him, but also try to educate people so people know how to recognize when someone's in need, but also just to step up and do the right thing.
Dr. Josh, I thought that your explanations from a medical perspective during the film were really important. You know, you said you wished you could have gone back in time because there were a lot of things you didn't know as a younger person when you were doing a lot of the things that most of us have probably done from time to time. And one of the things that really struck me was when you talked about, you know, how do you go from being the life of the party to, in essence, being lifeless at the party? How do you think that we can share that message more broadly to help people understand that math, that difference between beer, wine, and liquor?
I appreciate the opportunity to honor Nolan today with Kim and TJ. You know, when you are looking at speed of drinking, so sometimes people will drink a lot before they go out, and maybe that term pre-gaming, and so drinking a lot of high concentration alcohol in a short period of time is probably what creates the most danger. And then continuing to drink on top of that makes that even worse. And so I think this part of just stepping back and realizing that person that you're with, they may get buzzed and then not be aware of how much they're drinking. So I think there's a piece of self-awareness on that front end, but it's really quick to lose control or kind of conscious awareness of how much you've taken in, especially when it's high concentration like grain alcohol or jungle juice or high concentration whiskey or vodka.
Corey, we're now 5 years from the night that Nolan died, in essence. And the university's made a lot of changes. One of the things I wanted to make sure that as we start our conversation with the audience that we underscore is that while this particular incident that has sparked this conversation relates to a fraternity event, an unsanctioned hazing event, this goes far beyond that. And this conversation is not intended to solely be targeting any particular portion of campus. It's incumbent on every student, faculty member, staff member, parent, and friend of campus, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I've been working professionally in student life for 35 years. And this is an awful thing that happens, and we work hard to prevent it. But we still have people not making good decisions, and so, and as you said, it is not unique to WVU, and it is not unique to fraternities and sororities. It's, those pictures that were flashed up at the end, I mean, there's members of marching bands and club sports and, or professional sports and I remember in high school, it was going on when I was in high school even longer than 35 years ago. And so it's throughout our society.
So I want to open up the conversation to the rest of our audience. And if you have a question or a comment or a concern, again, just raise your hand. We'll get a microphone to you. And just let us know who you are and who you want to direct your question to, and we'll get those questions answered. Do we have anyone who wants to kind of start things off? You don't have to get up and move. It's totally okay. I know that probably a lot of you sitting in the audience are still processing some of what you've seen, and that's totally okay. And that's why we have the folks from the Caruth Center here this evening. Kim, one of the things that I've heard you and TJ talk about a lot is, just not understanding how someone didn't make that phone call.
Yeah.
Didn't step up and do the right thing. And you've talked with your foundation, the NMB Foundation, in honor of Nolan, at schools and other groups all across this country. What message do you hear from young people? What keeps them, what have they told you keeps them from making that call?
Fear. Fear they're going to get in trouble. Fear get in trouble from their parents, or if it is an organization, they'll get kicked off the hockey team or the football team or whatever it may be. It's fear. And I just have to tell you, there is nothing compared to going to a funeral and burying your friend. 911, that's it. That's all you got to do. That's basically what we get, though, is how can I bring my friend back if they're intoxicated? Can I get coffee in them? Can I walk them around? Can I throw them into the shower? When somebody's blue and they're foaming at the mouth and they're unresponsive, there is nothing that you're going to be able to do to get that person back unless you bring them to the hospital and they get medical attention. That's it. It's a phone call. And if you don't want to make the phone call, have something set up with your parents or your friends or it doesn't matter. Just a code. It could be a letter. H, I need help. Call 911. Send the person here. It doesn't have to be you. But you're going to feel a lot better in the morning not going to a wake or a funeral as opposed to your friend being there and everything's good and you're going to be going out the following week. It's just really simple. It's human nature, It's just being a human, being a friend. Those were Nolan's friends, by the way, that night. You didn't see in the back of that video, there were hundreds of kids there, women, men. He was kicked, he was spit on, he was God knows what else they did, but those were his friends. Those were his brothers. He was in. That night was it. He was accepted into this organization, and if that's your brother or your sister, you don't need a brother or sister like that. You don't need anybody around you like that. Nobody needs that.
TJ, you mentioned in the film, you brought up medical amnesty. And former Chief Roberts talked about West Virginia being a state where medical amnesty is the law. And university police practice that. And Corey, talk a little bit, if you could, and Chief Roberts, if you want to chime in, we'll get a microphone to you. And we also have Phil Scott here from the University Police Department as well. But talk a little bit about what medical amnesty means for students. They probably are wondering a little bit.
Well, I mean, in the simplest terms, it saves lives. That's what medical amnesty is. And so all we're asking people to do is, whether you're intoxicated or under the influence of something, your friend is, call for help. Because as Kim said, you don't want to, the next morning is not the time to be planning a funeral. The next morning is, you're alive. You know, and so medical amnesty is calling for help and saying, I need help. I mean, no one gets in trouble, you know, through our student conduct office. Carrie Showalter is our executive director of student conduct, is here on a regular basis. You know, we get reports from university police, from EMS, from the residence hall folks, and we practice it on a daily basis. It is not a problem for us.
Dr. Josh, one of the other big issues is knowing what bystander action might look like. You know, you talk about sort of recognizing what those signs are. Kim and TJ, you mentioned it as well, you know, turning blue, circulation, unresponsiveness. If someone needs to understand what to look for, at what point is it not okay, and they should be making that call or asking for help, help us understand a little bit better what those signs are, particularly when it's related to alcohol, but also to other substances as well, or other situations.
Again, I think simply reinforcing the level of consciousness and awareness. If you can't speak or communicate, especially if you can't maintain your alertness, we start to get really worried. And I especially in those circumstances where a person can't move for themselves, can't walk, can't turn, can't reposition, their risk of vomiting and having that go down into their lungs and cause aspiration pneumonia or acute issues with their breathing is very real. So you want to put someone in a rescue position, but really call for help immediately. And I think that's the part, those minutes make a difference. Every minute matters. And so getting someone on their side in the rescue position, calling 911, I appreciated that student trying to immediately initiate CPR, as scary as it is to imagine. I think it's also a reminder about, you know, getting actually certified in CPR, so you know what to do in an emergency if someone's choking or if you feel and they don't have a pulse. Being able to start that process immediately does give a better chance for survival, but really getting the emergency medical folks there, the EMS there, and getting that person to the hospital as quickly as possible is the most important thing.
I think we have a couple of questions here in the back. Yes, ma'am.
My name is Marie Burley. I work with the W View Extension Service, but I also just finished 18 years as a district advisor for a national honorary band fraternity. So we have band and we have fraternity. We have lots of potential. I have always told my kids, have fun, be safe, look out for each other, and don't be stupid. And when we first passed our hazing policy and our alcohol policy, we put a lot of time into educating people, but over the last 8 or 9 years, we had gotten away from that. And I just want you all to know that when Nolan passed, the first thing I did was call my counterparts and say, we need to be talking about hazing again. And we need to be talking about drinking too much again, because we have new kids coming in every year, and this is so important. So I just want you to know that even before this happened, we got the message. It made a difference.
Thank
Good.
you.
Thank you so much.
Do we have another hand that I saw up toward the back of the room?
Is it okay if
DJ?
I mention something about
Absolutely.
CPR real quick?
Yes.
So Doc said CPR, obviously, hopefully, you guys, it's in some cases, it's a couple-hour long course. Just do it. In this case, CPR did not save our son, unfortunately, but what it did allow is for him to get some things right in his system, and that's why we have Harrison here today. That's why we have 3 other people here today, because he was able to donate his lungs, his liver, and his kidneys, because somebody gave us that time, that day, for him to recover a little bit. And we had a lot of friends that were able to come in from Buffalo, many friends that were here right on campus from Summit Hall. Obviously, a lot of the Pledge Brothers and brothers from the fraternity. So they all got to say goodbye. It was sad. It was horrible. CPR didn't save him, but it did save other lives. So know it. Hopefully, it never gets to that point. I hope you guys are getting that point right now, is that you don't want it that far, make the call. But if it does, do it. Do it, because you can save a lot of lives.
And if you want some more information about CPR training, we can connect you with the right people, whether it's at University Police or one of our other departments on campus. And I think I can speak for Dr. Josh when I say, if you'd like to learn more about organ donation, he would be happy to talk with you about that, as well as the experience that he had with the Birches as they helped other people through the tragedy that their family experienced. Any other questions? Yes.
Have the fraternities and the sororities on campus here done anything different to protect kids from hazing, such as maybe requiring CPR training?
Corey, I think that's probably sort of your direction, and there are a number of things that have occurred.
Yeah, so we don't require CPR training. We do offer it on campus, but we do some bystander intervention training. A few years ago, we launched a hazing prevention task force, and we've had 2 significant hazing awareness sort of weeks and periods, but it's also not just a particular period. There's ongoing awareness and training and education, alcohol education, sexual assault prevention education. So there's a number of comprehensive programs that we continue to develop. We continue to talk to students, because part of what we're trying to do is listen to our students to understand what it is that we can do to help them understand the gravity of what they may think is a small decision, to make sure that they understand that that decision is a big decision. And again, medical amnesty is a part of that that's come in since Nolan's passing. I mean, that's a new law, and in some respects, I look at that amnesty in some respect is an overt way of all of us saying to those that are hesitant to call, to make that call. Because if you were at home and you saw your mom or your dad or your sibling, or quite frankly, your dog not responding, you would do something for help. And so what is confusing to us, and many of us, is when you're in this situation when you're with your peers, that decision isn't always made. And that's what we're trying to figure out, is how do we get you to make those decisions when it is most critical? And so that amnesty law, is a part of that, to say something, call. I hope that answered your question.
Any other questions? I think we had, yes. Go right ahead.
Hi, my name is Danielle. I'm in a sorority here on in campus. I'm a senior right now. So I just had a general question. I also want to say thank you for everyone up here and everyone who came today. But how do we get accountability, or just the respect, or even lower the ignorance on campus throughout people who maybe don't show up to these things, or aren't involved in Greek life, or aren't involved in organizations? Because I know that we always preach it, but the ones who don't show up or aren't involved don't hear it and aren't aware as much.
That's a great question.
It's probably better for you, but I would just say, don't let those folks determine kind of what you guys are doing. You're here tonight. Bring somebody the next time. Bring somebody with you. And eventually, you guys will all outnumber those people. So if a situation does happen where somebody acts like that, or refuses to do the right thing, there's enough people around them that will. It's kind of a, go
Yeah,
ahead.
Dan, go right ahead.
When we're done tonight, the documentary's online.
Yeah.
So do everybody a favor and bless this thing out.
You took the words out of my mouth.
Send it out to everybody. Put it on social media, email it to people. We open source this on purpose because we want everybody to see it. I think if they see that, they might think twice.
If you go to the safety.wvu.edu website starting tonight, the film link will be there. You can share the safety.wvu.edu link, you can share the YouTube link, and encourage your friends to watch it. Apply a little positive peer pressure. You know, we talk about negative peer pressure a lot. Apply a little positive peer pressure and say, you know, you really ought to watch this. And then talk with them about it. And that really might start a conversation that could change something for the better, make them think about things a little bit differently.
Thank you for the question.
Yeah, I mean, what you heard them say is it starts with you. You know, you're with each other. We're not with you in these situations. And you're having conversations, peer conversations on a daily basis. And we know that you all listen to each other better than you listen to us. And so how do we flip in Nolan's situation, if there were 200 people in the room and only one person sometime later decided to dial 911, how do you become part of the flipping of that? And so that now if there are 200 people in the room and that same situation happens, let that one person walk past, but now we've got 199 people that'll dial 911. That's how we flip it by you. I mean, we can talk and talk and talk, and I know those that are part of the fraternity and sorority community go through this. You know, it's required by your headquarters, it's required by WVU, but we've got, you're the one that has to take the action. You're the one that has to share the word and talk to those that aren't here.
I think we had a question right here. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Tina Michael. I'm Dr. Josh's sister. And I was just curious, Corey, what about, is there any implementation of this into freshman orientation?
Well, so this is the launch of this, and so now that we've got this video and this documentary, what we'll start to do is figure out how do we integrate it into students who are coming on campus, continuing students, things like that. I mean, so this is not a one-shot, one and done, right?
I understand that totally,
Yeah.
but you know, even like Josh said, back in the day, I didn't realize either the difference between beer and liquor.
Right.
How many drinks. And I think that's something that should really be taught in a more forceful manner, I guess, to show, because if people do see that, and it's not just with the fraternities and the sororities, it's with every student that attends the university.
Right. Well, one of the things that we do, every student coming into campus takes an online alcohol education course. So that's required by students coming in. Now, what we also know is for some students it's effective and for other students it's not effective. And so we have to, and we do, have multiple approaches to grab people's attention. I mean, so there's that alcohol course. How do we work this into that? I know our residence halls and the resident assistants are doing alcohol education program. Bystander intervention programming is taking place through another office that offers it up to students. So this will be a part of that arsenal that we're going to do to try to grab the attention of our students right from the get-go. It's a great thing for us to do.
Yeah, it's another tool in the toolbox because not different students require different tools.
Right.
And so
exactly,
this
and everybody
provides another
doesn't learn the
opportunity.
same
Right,
way.
right.
And I will tell you, thank you to Nolan's parents, because I watched that video. I got to see a preview. The realization of watching what really happened to your son. I'm not a parent, but I cannot fathom what that took for you to have to deal with that. And like you said, if it saves one other person's life, but just know we're all here with you, and our hearts go out to you, and thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you.
We have another question right up here.
Hi, my name is Maria, and I'm part of Student Wellness Ambassador team. And I wanted to add that we have this exact thing. So, like, we teach people what's the difference between beer, liquor, and wine, and how much of that, like, how can you measure that in your whatever you're drinking? So, like, it's already in the program, and we're doing this, and people participate in this.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have another question back here in the back.
Hi, my name is Lyric Lockley, and I'm actually an RA here on campus. So I actually have two questions. I work as a night staff person also, so a lot of things that I see are people coming in like a little unable to walk, but like their friend is like holding them up. So do you suggest that that's something that we should call about?
Yeah, I'm a fan of that, because what we don't know and what you don't know is when they're coming in the building, how much they've ingested, and is their alcohol, is their BAC increasing? Because now if they get to their room, and I'll refer to Dr. Huss, but if they get to the room and they're still going into a deeper intoxication state, that's a problem. But if, you just don't know when you see them for that 5 seconds coming through the front door, which side are they on? Are they coming out of it, or are they going into it?
Agreed.
And then also, since most of the times we are the first people that interact with the students on a daily basis, what are some like suggestions of good ways to get programs that talk about the differences between beer and alcohol and other things to the residents without it coming off as like pushy or trying to be like a second parent to them?
Well, I think some of that is, we've got peer educators, but some of it too is think about how you want to receive that information. And so when you design that program, in some respects you're designing it for yourself. So what can you do, and what program? Is it peer education? Is it showing this documentary? What is it that will grab your attention to change what behavior that we're trying to change? Does that make sense?
I think President Gee mentioned in the video, there's that balance of working smart and then playing smart. And Kim, I know you underscored that by saying, you're not under any illusions that as college students, there's going to be drinking, there's going to be dabbling in other things, but you can still do it in a way that doesn't necessarily put someone in jeopardy.
Exactly. It's common sense. You're taught that as a small child, to watch out for each other, to do the right thing. I always say, your parents, I want you to go home for Thanksgiving. I want you to go home for Christmas break. Your parents want you to be there. It's just common sense. It's just do the right thing. It's not rocket science. It's really quite simple. Like we say all the time, we're not here to tell you don't do that. You have parents or grandparents or whoever you've been raised by, or you don't need us lecturing you. You guys know right from wrong. You guys are smart kids. It's common sense. It's just look out for each other. That's it.
I have, sorry.
No, it's that simple. That's it.
I wanted to make sure I got this in from our folks in the rhododendron room. Daniel Levy is upstairs in the rhododendron room, and he's from Alpha Epsilon Phi. Sorry. Alpha Epsilon Phi. But he also serves as the community relations person for the IFC, the Interfraternity Council. And he wanted to make sure that we all knew tonight that they're currently in the process of creating a program to further educate fraternities and their risk management chairs about how to handle and help with these sorts of situations. And he also wanted to make sure that we were aware that they are actively working toward ensuring a safer future for all of the universities, fraternities, and sororities. And he wanted me to pass along that they just wanted everyone to know that as part of their efforts. So we appreciate Daniel's comment tonight. Any other questions here in the audience? Right back here. And then I'll go back there.
Yeah, this question is for Dan, TJ, and Kim. I'm just wondering if there was any consideration to involving Kappa Sigma as a national organization to be involved in the making of this documentary. Did they want to be interviewed or make some kind of statement toward it?
Dan?
I approached them with machine gun fire for probably 8 months. I tried everything. They were completely uncooperative. They wouldn't respond. We tried a nice approach, a more pushy approach that, hey, we're going to tell the story as we see fit unless you want to step in here, and they just want to have nothing to do with it. We tried. We even tried to get some more of the brothers. We tried to get Richard Schwartz, people that were actively involved in the actual incident with Nolan, and we were just shut down every time. So, we were lucky to have gotten 5 of the brothers who were willing to come and talk to us, but Kappa Sigma was zero help. In fact, we went up to the house to film stuff up there, and I brought TJ and Kim. We went up there, we did some droning, but we were actually, originally I wanted to go in the house, and they wouldn't even, a kid came out and threatened me when I stepped foot on the property. They were waiting for us. So they, and they're not even Kappa Sigma, but I guess Kappa Sigma is still the landlord. The landlord. Yeah, so whoever's in the house now was, I think, expecting us, because I alerted Kappa Sigma that we're coming, and they kind of shooed me off the property. And then they told me I can't drone. I guess they think they own the airspace as well, so.
I mean, these are young kids. Like, I don't know. I was raised to respect your elders, and I mean, these are young kids telling adults what to do. I don't know. I just don't know the lack of respect. Nolan's big brother still, to this day, he lives in our hometown, less than a mile from our house, and he still to this day has not admitted anything. He was the one that was in that room with Nolan, with his little sister, and he's never told us what he's done. I mean, we can kind of put 2 and 2 together with everything that actually happened, but he's never talked to the police. He did come up to the hospital when we were up there with Nolan, getting ready to take him off life support. He came up and said he was there for us, to help us find out what happened. Little did we know at the time that he was what happened to our son. So it's, to say, if that answered anybody's question about Kappa Sigma, that's the extent of what we got from them.
I want to call on Carrie Showalter from our Office of Student Conduct, and then I will go right over here to the back corner. I know you're waiting right there, but I wanted to get a microphone to Carrie because I know she has some additional insight about that particular situation.
Sure. No, I just wanted to make a comment about medical amnesty. When you mentioned that one of the things that people have told you about why they don't report is because of fear, I will say that, in the Office of Student Conduct, obviously we administer the campus code, right? And we have amnesty in our policy, which we also have under West Virginia law. So we look at cases and we're looking to see if behaviors violated the code, but we're also looking to see if our students, behavior reflects our community values. And, one of our community values obviously is taking care of each other. So it's not just this black and white, I've done something wrong and therefore I'm in trouble. It's a much broader lens. And I assure you that, making that call and doing the right thing will be looked at in a much different context. So I just want to reiterate that in terms of trying to kind of ease some of that fear in terms of how it's looked at West Virginia University.
Carrie, thank you. And in terms of the fraternity question, I just want to add in a little bit of context that, and TJ and Kim, please jump in, and Corey as well. Throughout this entire process, and not just in this particular instance, but with others as well, what we've noticed as a university is that there's been a difference in response and communication and collaboration between local chapters and the members who are here on the ground, by and large, and the national organizations. And so a lot of what our focus has been is really trying to focus on that national conversation, because as we said, it's not just an issue here at WVU. This is an issue that crosses the country on college campuses. And so if you're a member of a fraternity or a sorority and you think something should change, contact your national organization and apply a little of that positive peer pressure.
Or call us.
And have them apply the pressure.
We'll come.
Okay, I promised I'd go back here to this back corner. I'm going to do that now.
First off, thank you guys so much for the video. It was extremely touching for, I'm sure, everyone upstairs and downstairs. My question is, you said on the video that since 1970, one person has passed away each year due to hazing. Well, the thing that upsets me and concerns me is, why are we just now hearing about this when it's been, 50 years later? How many lives could we have saved had we have taken a stance, made a beautiful video, or not even a video, or just had a conversation to all these students about how severe hazing is, how they can call for help, and how silly alcohol can be if you don't go ahead and take care of your brother, your sister, your student, your friend. So my question is just why now, and how is this now going to actually make a difference now in the rest of the universities, so that way we can actually save other students? To me, I just feel that we now know 50 students at least have passed away, and Nolan had a beautiful life, as did all these other 49 students, and those that maybe he didn't even pass, but those that unfortunately maybe were hurt. How do we now implement this, and how do we now make this a mandated thing? I know you mentioned putting it in freshman orientation and trying to get it in. I think this should be a mandatory thing across borders, period. So my question just is why now? How can we do this now? And how can we actually make this stick?
It's a great question, and I wish I had a silver bullet answer, and there really isn't one. There's been a lot of organizations like ours, a lot of films like ours, people who've tried to get the word out as well, who've lost kids 10, 12, 15, 25 years ago. I think what needs to happen, and then everybody else can kind of chime in. Drunk driving back in the 70s, for example. Seatbelts, we were talking about earlier. You didn't wear your seatbelt. Drunk driving was, I hate to say it, it was almost commonplace. Smoking was a big thing. Throughout the years, as more people became more aware through programs like this, drunk driving is frowned upon. I mean, don't do it. It's you obviously, you all know that. You shouldn't. Grab an Uber, do whatever you need to do. Smoking, the same thing. We know the health risks and health effects. Seatbelts, they save lives. We know that they save lives. But those messages took a long time to build up. Hazing right now is coming to a point where it's completely out of control, and and people are starting to notice. And now there's a national conversation. And now once money and things like this start to get involved with insurance companies and things like this, I think you're going to see some changes big time, because they're not going to be able to. I mean, you guys might not be able to function anymore if your insurance goes up through the roof. It's going to be very difficult. Go ahead, Dan.
Well, the one thing that you guys have that my generation didn't have is you guys have social media. So it's a lot easier now to get this message out, and you guys can multiply faster than anybody. I mean, I think one of the big reasons why we didn't hear about it as much 20 years ago and 30 years ago is because, we got our press a certain way, whether it's newspapers or TV, and we all know that there was a lot of money behind fraternities and sororities, and one person dying here and there wasn't big news. Now we're starting to see a problem. I don't know if anybody's aware of it. There's been 4 fraternity deaths in the past 3 weeks. Yeah. One yesterday, one over the weekend. This is starting to get out of control, and it's also, I think a lot of it, the research we've done, we think a lot of it has to do with, you guys are drinking more alcohol now hard alcohol rather than beer. So we're seeing a lot of that. We think social media drives it, but you can use social media to now stop this. You guys can really create an army overnight if you want. If you guys really want to stop this, power in numbers. I mean, you can send messages to not only your peers to help stop this, but you can send a really hard message to national chapters of certain fraternities that actually support this, and universities that aren't stepping up like the way WVU did. I mean, WVU is embracing this and trying to get this message out so it doesn't happen again. How many universities try to bury this? They have an incident and they don't want to talk about it. You guys can change that. You can force people to talk about it and share the stories.
I just want to reiterate again, this isn't the end. Tonight is the beginning of something. And so to your point, this campaign, would you break the code of silence that we heard talked about in the film? Would you step forward? It's not just about medical amnesty or bystander training, but it's about sharing information as well. We have a question right up here in the front row. Kim, go ahead.
Oh, no, I think I was just going to say, even when we're gone and this conversation is over, if you have a concern and you don't want to ask us or tell us something, out here on this panel, you can email us. I mean, we're open. We're an open book. If there's something that you're concerned about and you need help, we're here. I mean, call us, text us, email us. If you don't want to make a phone call, we'll call for you. I got no problem calling. I'm like, so
Take her number.
Get my number.
Speed dial. I think we have a question down here in the front.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Faith. I'm also in a sorority on campus here. So I know that there's a lot of frats that are still on campus that aren't technically associated with WVU, but they still have active parties and there's still a long frat row. And for me as a freshman, I'm a junior now, but when I was a freshman, I lived on one of the dorms that literally, like, I could hear the frats conversations from my room. So I didn't know, like, what frats were what or who was good or bad or whatever, and I'm sure it's like that for freshmen now. So because I'm pretty sure not a lot of freshmen knew about this event. I just heard about this event today through my sorority. So how can other freshmen be told more about this, or what can the university do better? Because if these frats are, like, technically they're not WVU, but you can still walk right in, like, you don't know if they're WVU or not, they're still in the house. I know the one frat the frat that is there now, they're not associated with WVU either, but people still go there every weekend, but they don't know.
Corey? There's actually, there is a wealth of information available.
So we've done a number of things, quite frankly, over the years. So when national organizations have pulled charters, we've sent messages to our students. We publicize it. We send messages to parents through our parent electronic news. And we have an active fraternity and sorority website. If you go to that, Matthew, is it greeklife.wvu.edu? So if it's greeklife.wvu, there's a scorecard on there that you can look at GPAs and graduations and things like that, but you can also see what fraternities and what sororities and what their status is. Are they recognized? Are they not recognized? And so we have not what we've done is, even those that are not recognized by our campus, we still have them listed because they were formerly on campus, and so those brothers or sisters may still be on campus. But also, as you said, we've got 5 disassociated fraternities and then 2 additional where this year their charters were pulled, that we have that information available. And so you're right, how do we promote it more broadly? And that's for us to work on, but I can tell you for this event, for the past 2 weeks it's been promoted and been on U-News that you get twice a week and things like that. So but we also know that we've got to work harder to make sure we get the message out. Great question. Thank you.
I have a question from upstairs in the rhododendron room. This is from Austin. He's part of the Delta Chi Delta fraternity, and he was wondering, Kim and TJ, Delta Chi. My dad was a Sigma Chi, so I should have known Chi. Sorry about that. Delta Chi Delta. And Delta Chi? Well, it says Delta Chi Delta right there.
Okay, sorry. I don't know what that is. Okay.
Maybe he just typed it twice. Sorry, Austin. I was wondering, he says, why you let the brothers see Nolan right before he passed away, even though you later found out that they may have played roles in varying ways. And you talked a little bit about that in the film, but maybe talk a little bit more about why you felt that was important.
Well, at the time, we didn't know what happened. I mean, we knew it was alcohol poisoning. We didn't know that it was a big brother, little brother. We had no idea. So when we had gotten to the hospital, it was things started unfolding, and we had no idea. So a bunch of Nolan's friends came in from other states. They were away at school. They came in from our hometown, Buffalo. And the Pledge Brothers, we just assumed that they were in the same boat that, as we started getting more information, they were in the same boat that Nolan was. So, in fact, one of them ended up in the hospital also that night. As far as the Big Brothers went, we didn't know what was going on. So we just wanted everybody to go in and say goodbye and see what had happened.
I don't think it would have mattered. Whether we knew or not, to be honest with you. Our son was dying, and we just wanted everybody, I think in the back of our minds, we knew that this is what we were going to be doing, because we knew that we had lost him. We just wanted his friends, we wanted everybody to see this is what happened. I mean, You've got to be kidding me. I mean, they went in 2 by 2. They had to stop going in at certain times because he was releasing his bowels, and it, quite frankly, smelled in there because everything was kind of letting loose, so they'd have to clean them up. Then maybe a half an hour, 45 minutes later, another couple would go through. I mean, Dr. Dower can attest, it was a few hundred students that went through there, and we'd do it again. Because if you saw that, I mean, hopefully,
You don't ever have
it
to
would
see
it would
that.
end, anything ever happening again. It's by far the worst, obviously the worst day of our life, but to be honest, it helped us a little bit too to know that he had so much support and so many friends here on campus, and we got a ton of support up at that hospital, and I can't say enough about Dr. Dower and Ruby, and I'm going to toot their horn for them because we just love them so much. And the worst day of our life, worst couple days of our life, I don't think our experience could have been any more, I don't even know how to describe it, warm, I guess is what it would be. But it was peaceful when it was just a shit show the whole time. So anyhow, sorry, I didn't mean to curse.
Right here in the center.
My name's Josh. I'm a senior here on campus right now. I'm also here with a lot of my brothers from the Pi Kappa Phi fraternity. I know we all want to share our condolences to you and your family, and thank you for being here. So my question is to TJ and Kim. It was really hard to see how Nolan was treated in those tapes, and my question is that, how were you able to forgive the way he was treated, and how did you do that, if so?
We're at odds on this one a little bit. We've forgiven. You can't forget it, if that makes sense. So we've forgiven him, but when you look at that and still to see it to this day, how he was just left there, and to see, some of the kicks in the videos and the different things, the time was ticking away, and time is crucial, as we know. Yes, because if you hang on to that, to be perfectly honest with you, life wouldn't be worth, what it is right now. I don't know how else to explain it. We can't curl up into a little ball and die. If I thought about that every day, I would just be, I would be a hot mess. So I need to move past that. It happened. I'm a strong believer in karma. You can go where you want with that, but someday it's going to come back, and I what I think is these kids are good. You guys, when you get older, and gals, when you have a child, if you're blessed enough to do so, and you look that first child in the eyes, it changes your life immediately. I called my mom and I said, I am so sorry. I apologize for everything that I did. So that's when I think we're actually going to start to hear from some of those young men and women that were there. And even if it's just a, hey, you know what, I was there, I'm thinking about you, I know what you mean now. That kind of a thing. That's all we need. We don't need apologies and all this other kind of, it happened.
I just think remorse would have been something. Like I said, there's some big brother, and they live in our hometown, and we hear things, we'll go out somewhere and people will notify them that we're coming, and they run. So, you're not running if you're not guilty. If I didn't do anything wrong, I'm going to sit my butt right here and be like, I didn't do it. So you can get mad at me all day long, but when somebody's running and it has to always look over their shoulder, I just can't imagine that burden. I couldn't live like that. So to know what they did, and there's no remorse, that eats me. But like my husband said, you gotta kind of channel it in a different direction, and I think that's kind of what this is all about. We decided right from the get-go that we're going to go this way instead of that way, because like he said, it'll eat you. If you think about that every day, every minute, it will tear you apart. And we'd rather channel it to
the good.
To the good.
Does that answer the question?
Yeah, thank you.
Kai from upstairs in the rhododendron room had a very similar question about when you sort of made that switch from anger into advocacy, but also had a question for you, Kim. She talked about that moment in the film when you say the phone rang and you didn't answer it, and then it rang a second time and you still didn't answer it, and she said, what do you think was going through your mind? What made you pick up the phone that third time and not the first two?
I don't know. I don't know if it's subconsciously I knew. And then when I finally looked at the phone and saw it was West Virginia area code, then that kind of triggered, I guess, in my brain, like, okay, my kid's away at college, that's the area code, I got to answer it. So I don't know. I think subconsciously I knew it wasn't. Also, too, anybody calling after midnight to old people, like it's nothing. I don't know. Nothing's good. I say
Nothing good ever happens after
midnight. No, none of my friends were in bed by 9, so I'm like, they're not calling me at midnight. So I always say nothing good happens after midnight, and that's basically it. It wasn't anything good. So
did I see a hand? Yeah.
Hi, I'm Rosa Andano. I am actually a board member, NMB Foundation, and also a pharmacist at the University of Buffalo on campus. My question is to the university as a parent of students. What is it that you're going to do for the parents that, you know, want your son comes or daughter comes and says, oh, I want to join a fraternity? Is there something that I go online, I see that this fraternity had so many like infractions. Is there something that you can provide to a parent?
Corey?
Well, so yes. I mean, so I'll go back to that fraternity and sorority website. We can provide all the information in the world. Right. And then when we provide that information to the parents or to the student, then make those decisions. And again, as Kim said, do the right thing. I mean, if the red flags are there, then make that decision.
But I also have to say, I mean, 18 years old, you're considered an adult, so even if you send out this information to the parents, you're still, I mean, they don't have to listen to their mom and dad anymore. Right. So it really is up to you guys to do your homework and look into things. And if they're not in good standing, you don't want to be a part of that. You don't want to be a part of something that's not good.
Right.
WVU has a very active parents club. We send out a consistent newsletter. We have a Facebook page where we engage just about 24 hours a day, 7 days a week with our current students, parents, as well as prospective students. And a lot of this information we do share with them, and information about our safety website, the Would You campaign, this documentary film, our discussion, all of that is part of that ongoing conversation that we're having with parents. Because, as I said at the beginning of the evening, this isn't just about our students, faculty, and staff. This is about all of us within the university community, including our friends, alumni, supporters, parents.
Well, I think we also, too, people ask us, are you anti-fraternities, sororities? We're not.
We're the opposite, probably. Yeah.
We're not. I mean, we're not happy, obviously, what happened, with our son's, fraternity. But I mean, there are good things going on. There are some that are doing the right thing, and then there are some that are not. So, if you just work together, work with the school, just do the right thing. It's bottom line. It's do the right thing.
Question.
I'm going to go here, and then I'll come down here to the front.
Hi, I'm Joseph, and my question, so earlier you were talking about how the people who had basically done the hazing to these pledges were refusing to come forward. And that's pretty natural because people are afraid of retaliation. And I believe that it would be very effective to be like, I did this, here's what I have to live with. So I think it would be very noble of them to come forward. Unfortunately, a lot of other people are not going to see past the fact that they did it in the first place. Do you think we could eventually, as a society, come past blaming them for doing it and applauding them for saying what it's like to have done it?
That's what we were looking for. I called kids that were in the fraternity. We weren't looking for an admission of guilt. We weren't looking for an apology. we wanted to, if they had any kind of remorse, or not really remorse, but having them reflect back, 4 or 5 years later, depending on when I reached out to them, that living with that guilt, for someone for you guys to look up to and like think like, even to have someone say, God, if I knew then what I know now, I wish I could go back in time and have changed this. Like, we weren't looking for anybody to apologize or admit anything, and I still couldn't get them to talk. I mean, the only way I can, I used an analogy we were talking about last night. This is like, these guys, some of these guys would make the mafia proud. I mean, none of these guys were willing to talk, and good or bad. It's sickening. I mean, we were past statute of limitations for lawsuit, statute of limitations for criminal charges. There was no recourse, and we weren't looking to throw anybody under the bus. We just wanted them to help tell the story of what happened there and help educate other people of, God, I wish I could go back in time and just have called for help, or, or I wish I knew. Because you know what, after all this, and I don't think anybody on this stage, especially myself and the Birches, we really don't think that anybody in that house that night knew what was going to happen. No. We don't think anybody knew that he was going to die. So no one's trying to point fingers. It just would be nice to have them say, God, don't be me. I have to live with this guilt the rest of my life, like knowing I could have done something I didn't. And they wouldn't even do that.
Let's go down here to the front.
Hi, I'm Patty Flaherty, a board member of NMB as well, and a parent of 3 children who have gone through freshman orientations at 3 different schools. And you had mentioned, Corey, I believe, that you have a mandatory online class type thing for alcohol awareness for the freshmen. I'm wondering how effective that is. I would think that wouldn't it be more impactful to do it during orientation, to have a presentation similar to this documentary, and to really, discuss the dangers of it instead of just having it be an online orientation? Because I know one of my kids at an online mandatory thing, and kids are so creative and working around the system, I think, and just getting through what they have to get through. So I'm just wondering if you would end up changing it instead of having it be an online thing and making it more of a mandatory open discussion type thing.
Well, so I agree with you. It's on us to try to figure out different ways to present it. And so our challenge is we have 5,000 students, and I would love for us to be able to have some small, intimate settings to be able to do that. That is not, on a campus this size, it makes it difficult for us to manage that. But how do we do it differently so it does have that impact? You're right, because online doesn't work for everybody. It works for some. But how do we do more things like this to do that, whether it's at orientation, whether it's during our welcome week, whether it's during the first week of classes, when there's a whole bunch of or other orientation of campus life that's taking place, or we've got a course that goes throughout the fall semester. So that's for us now to figure out as we launch this new program. How do we get it to every student that's new to campus? Great question.
Can I add to that though, because I think, and I'm a very good friend of Kim and TJ's. It's mandatory for kids in high school to attend a course like that. And how could it not be mandatory for them to attend a course like this?
Yeah, so you're right. I mean, so that's for us to figure out how to get that for every student.
Okay.
Right.
Not how to get it. It should be mandatory.
Right.
Let's go back here to the back again.
Just to build off her question, and I know you're trying to figure out smaller settings. I know that the first year seminar class is mandatory for all students. So is that somewhere where you could see placing videos like this and other talks in that class, since that is mandatory?
Well, that's one of those locations, absolutely, yes. Because those are those small class settings, right.
Back here in the back.
Hi, I just want to, I work for Student Life, and I've been at this institution for a long time. I've seen a lot of student presentations, but I can tell you already this is a very powerful presentation, and the student engagement here is really known, so you can tell that this has already made an impact on our campus. So as a parent, I want to really commend you from what you've done. I know this has got to been very challenging. I don't know that I could have done this as a parent. So on behalf of my parents and the students here, I really want to thank you very much.
I want to make sure that everyone who wants to participate this evening has that opportunity. So I'll do one more call for questions if there's anyone else. Yes, right over here.
Hello, my name is Jack. I'm a grad student at WVU. I got my undergrad degree as well. Today we're talking about what we can do in the future, and I think it's important that I provide an example that has already been successful on this campus. I was a part of the marching band, Pride of West Virginia. Everyone loves it. It's the largest student organization on this campus. But you would be surprised to a degree that people like band geeks can haze each other. And what I have to commend is that there was a group of class within my my tenure here at this university that finally said, we've had enough of this. We said, we're not going to let you do this to us or the students below us or the kids in the future. So I just want to say that it is possible. We're talking a lot on theoretical, but it does really take you to challenge yourself. It's up to you, juniors and seniors as leaders, to instill this in within your organization. You can be sophomores and freshmen and say, we're the new generation. It's time for us to change. So I really do want to encourage us as fellow Mountaineers to stand up and say, we have had enough. We're going to create a change here. And that those below us further instill this culture and this culture change, and that we hope for a better future. So thank you.
Great message, Jack. Thank you. I think that's a great note to end our conversation on this evening. I want to encourage you, though, if you do have additional questions or concerns that maybe you didn't feel comfortable or we didn't address this evening, that, find us. We're going to be here for a few minutes, or you can always email the Office of Student Life, studentlife.wvu.edu, and we'll try to address those. As we close tonight, I have a couple of really important things that I want to pass along, so hang with me for just a second here. First, I just want to remind everyone, this is the beginning of the conversation. And in the coming days, weeks, and months, you're going to see a lot of additional information about this new campaign on campus called Would You? And we really are challenging one another to, as Jack said, stop the cycle and do the right thing, as DJ has mentioned on a couple of occasions tonight. So please visit safety.wvu.edu, where you'll find a link to this documentary that you saw this evening, our conversation that we had tonight, so that you can share that with your friends, your family, and with others. You'll also find information on that page about the Would You campaign starting tomorrow, with a lot of additional resources, as well as information about safety and wellness all across the West Virginia University campus. So I really encourage you to do that. I also want to mention that that site is also going to have a permanent link to the NMB Foundation, and I cannot thank Kim and TJ Birch enough for working with the institution here at WVU and being so wonderful. And it's just a small way that we can help to spread the word of your foundation and the great work that you two are doing all across the country.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you, guys.
Now, as we close this evening, I asked Kim for permission to share this story. You can all stand up if you like. You can stay standing up. And she said it was okay if I shared this. We're Mountaineers at West Virginia University. And you heard Kim talk about the fact that one of the last things Nolan told her was when he was here on this campus, he was home, right? He was home. And in the last moments of his life, as his family and friends were in the hospital room, they decided that a fitting way to say goodbye to Nolan and to make him feel at home would be to play Country Roads. And so we're going to end our evening tonight and start our journey forward by joining arms and doing what Mountaineers do. We're going to play Country Roads, we're going to sing along, and we're going to remember that this is our home and this is our family. And when you're home and you're with family, you take care of each other and you watch out for each other and you stand up for each other. And I hope that each and every one of you who has participated here tonight, whether you're in the Gluck Theater or upstairs in the rhododendron room, takes that message and shares it with someone else you love. We're Mountaineers, and we take care of each other because this is home. So take us home, Country Roads.
Long live Nolan.
Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountain, Shenandoah River. Life is old there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, growing like a breeze. Country roads take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, all my memories gather round her. Miner's lady, stranger to blue water, dark and dusty, painted on the sky, missed a taste of moonshine, teardrops in my eyes. Country roads take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, I hear her voice in the morning hours. She calls me. The radio reminds me of my home far away. Driving down the road, I get a feeling that I should have been home yesterday, Lord, yesterday. Country roads take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, take me home. Down country road, take me home. Down country road.
Thank you all, and safe travels home tonight and forever.
Good job. Congratulations on running.
Thanks.